guys, welcome back to Not Your Usual 9 to 5. I'm Gladys, your host for this show, and today we have a very special guest. So I think you guys have seen the poster already, but if you know, let me know in the comments. But if you don't, I'm gonna give you guys a pretty fun hint, okay? This is a profession that you guys see on TV all the time, but you might not know which profession it is. So I'm gonna play a video and try to guess, alright? So check out the video right now. We're gonna be playing it soon. While the video is up, right? I think I cannot see myself on the TV, so can I request for the screen to be up? Thank you. All right. Wow, very cool looking video, right? High intensity. So I know a lot of y'all are looking right now. Hi Edmund, thanks for saying hi. Okay, for the rest of you guys, make a guess. Who is our special guest today? What is his profession? Okay. Disclaimer, these are not real dangerous equipment, instruments, weapons. I think. Okay, we will ask our guest later. Come on guys, make a guess. What is the profession of our special guest today? Okay, that was it for the short video. If you guys didn't manage to guess, I'm going to tell you the answer right now. Today we have fight designer and actor with us. Let's welcome Peps. Hi.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us on the show.
My pleasure.
Okay, so Peps has been doing fight design for a very long time. And he also does acting as well, right? So maybe you can share with us a little bit more about what you do and what exactly is a fight designer.
Okay, so fight design is a relatively new term. In the earlier days, they used to call it fight coordinating or fight directing. So fight design came from a company called 8711 Action Design. So they started to call it a design instead of a coordination or a direction. The reason for that is because instead of just focusing on coordinating one scene at a time through a show and having no consistency through the project, we designed the entire texture of how the action grows throughout the series, how each character grows throughout the series, and how that also has a narrative of its own. Yeah, I hope that kind of answered the question.
So basically it's like how, we always see a lot of dance choreography, even music, but here, we can understand that fighting and maybe like martial arts in TV and in film, there's also choreography and design. So if you guys still don't really get what we mean, right, we actually have another video to show you guys. This is a pretty fun one and it's quite intense, okay? So if you're with your kids, make sure you're next to them right now. Check out this next video.
Action.
So this is in your studio? In one of the studios?
So this was before we opened up our own space. Yeah, so we're just renting out a small dance studio.
Right, I see you guys have all the foam mats out for safety. Wow, very cool ending right there. So did you guys catch that? That was actually Peps, right?
Yeah.
How long ago was that? Your hair was very short.
That was, I believe, about 8 months ago.
8 months ago, wow, your hair grows very fast.
Thankfully. Hope it stays that way.
Are you trying to grow out a man bun eventually?
Oh, I can actually tie a man bun now. That's why I have a rubber band.
Whoa, so we both have rubber bands.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you can explain to us what that whole routine was, so people can help us all to understand fight design a bit better.
Right. So
yeah, we play the video again, okay, guys. We'll play it and you can explain while they're looking at it. Because I think fight design is really quite complicated. When we see fighting scenes on TV, right, we always feel like, wow, 很痛啊, really so believable, right? But actually, they don't feel pain, right?
Yes, we never make contact.
Yeah, so how does it work? Let's check out the video again, okay, and then Peps will explain to us.
Action. Right, so this is a knife disarm situation. The knife is actually a fake prop, as you might be able to see. And then we look like we're making contact, however, we are doing a film technique called cutting the line to create an illusion of contact.
So this is going to be really fun. We are going to show you guys, right, how TV and film actually cheat, okay? So we are exposing all the pain that is not felt on set today. So make sure you guys stay on, okay, to find out a bit more about all of that. But also another thing, we have not just Peps here today to talk about fight design, but we also have a giveaway happening today. So we have two $20 GrabFood vouchers for you guys to win, okay? And all you have to do is like the video, share it out, and comment down either a question that you have for fight design, or comment down by tagging 2 friends, okay, to join us and watch us on the show. So basically, like and share and comment. Either tag 2 friends or you ask a question, and then you will be able to join us for the giveaway. We will choose a random winner at any point in time during the show, so make sure to stay on and join us, okay? If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. But for now, I'm really curious. So you said cutting the line. We are gonna explore that later on, right? But is that something that you teach all actors on set to do?
Yes, that definitely. So we try and get at least 1 to 2 rehearsal days before shoots all the time. And then we run them through the basic principles of how fight contact works. And then we teach them how to fall safely before we bring them onto choreography. Yeah.
That's really fun. Actually, I also learned like a bunch of different things that are quite active as well. And a big thing they always tell me is to learn how to fall first. So I guess that's what you mean. So Dave, I really love your question. We will answer that very soon, okay? So hold on there, because we have another video that I wanted to show you guys. This one is very cool. This one is not Peps. This one is a very cool and strong female fighter. Is that the right term to put it?
Yeah, I can call it a female stunt woman. Yeah.
Female stunt woman. So another really cool one, and this one is not just 1 versus 1, okay? This one is 1 versus 3. So let's check out this video. Maybe you can explain the video while it's playing as well. That one is really cool. When I saw it, I was like, wow.
Okay, so her name is Jean. She actually got her fight training in a theatre school in the UK called East 15 or East 16, I forgot the number. But she trains in theatre, but she also trains in theatre combat as well. So this is a 1v3 scenario with knives. The idea is to move through blocking, so getting one person into the scene and the other one exiting it. So you don't see them dancing around the back not doing anything lah. So there's a specific placement of camera as well as placement of the performers involved in designing this kind of scene.
Yeah, their emotions look really real. But if you guys are there, right, you will know that they're just cheating the angle. A lot of them don't have actual contact.
Yes.
Wow, that was really cool. I have to say, to be a good stunt double or stunt actor, they really have to act out the expressions really well.
Yes. And it gets to a point where it's almost a muscle memory. When you go action, boom, you just somehow become an animal for some
Like
reason.
you see someone's hand move closer to you, you will pretend that you got hit.
Yes.
Wow, that's really cool. So today, for those of you who have just joined us on the show, welcome once again. Today we are going to be exposing fight scenes on TV and film. What does that mean? It really just means that we're going to show you how they're made, okay? You will see that in real life here. Peps is going to show us. He's a fight designer and actor, so he's going to be showing us the simple ways of how TV and film do it. So a lot of times, we see action film, crime film, thriller films, or TV even, right? There's a lot of like punching or fighting involved. And a lot of times we think that they're bleeding. Okay, we know that maybe the blood is fake, but we would think that maybe the punches could be real or like lightly punched, But actually there's a lot of fight design involved in that to make sure that the actors and actresses don't feel any pain at all. So that has been a really interesting, and I've always been very curious about it. It's a very intriguing topic. So today we've got Peps here to talk about all of that. We showed you guys a couple of videos just now on what fight design is. And if you guys have any questions, just let us know in the comments, okay? We finally have someone here in the industry who can answer all of our questions, so let's make use of all his time here with us in this short duration. So Dave asked, what are the prerequisites to be a fight designer?
To be a fight designer, I would say that you first must enter the industry as a stuntman first. Work from the ground up, learn how to do doubling, learn how to do basic stunt performing and acting, and eventually you move your way up to learn how to manage object type of stunts, meaning working with props that breaks, working with wireworks, and then learning how to not just fly on the wireworks, but how to pull people on the wireworks. So once you accumulate all these skills, you start to step into assistant choreography, and then you become the choreographer working under a coordinator. Wow. And eventually you step in as an assistant coordinator.
And there's no school for this?
Initially, when I started, there wasn't, and we feel that there is not easy ways to enter the industry, where it's very well guarded, where I think the older generation was afraid of competition, so they don't teach very much. And so it created a decline in the industry where there was a gap before I entered the industry where there was no young blood.
Very hard to find suitable one, especially if you have a young actor and then they need like a stunt double.
Yes. And that's the reason why my company, we started a training facility called Sandbox Training Ground, and we started teaching fight choreography and wireworks in the place. So hopefully things get easier for the next generation.
Oh, that's really nice. So, other than that, you are saying that to be a fight designer, you need to start from being a stunt double. So, what does it take to be a stunt double? Does that also involve training, or is that something you can learn on set, on the go?
Stunt doubling, definitely not. Whenever a stunt double is hired, it's because there's a certain amount of danger in the scene, right? And it's never that the actors can't do it. They can, but in terms of insurance, in terms of if they get hurt, the production has to stop. So it doesn't make financial sense or just strategic sense for the production to do that. And because there's some risk involved, it's generally something that's to do with falling down, do with fire, getting hit by a car, and so those are stuff that takes time to build. So a prerequisite to be a stunt double is actually extremely specific. So for example, if this character is falling down the stairs, in which case you gotta have really good breakfall technique. And in other cases, the character has to do a very skill-specific movement, like a skateboard or a parkour chase scene, in which case you need to have background in those specific skill sets and also have a body type that matches the actor or actress.
Wow, it's a very, very demanding job. Even if you have the skill, if your body type doesn't fit or your gender doesn't fit, then you can't get that particular job.
Correct. And interesting thing you pointed out, gender, right? So I actually, across my career, had to double a lot of
As
females.
a female?
Yes.
Wow!
Yeah, because I got a smaller stature. So yeah, and actually overseas, right, it's considered unethical to double another gender now. They call it wigging, and the reason for that is you're taking jobs away from a minority. Because like stunt women are a minority there, so you should give them the jobs. But the thing is, in Singapore, there simply isn't enough stunt women to go around. The lady who saw Jin, she's probably 1 in 3 in Singapore right now.
So,
Yeah.
okay, like, just a quick question. You're super sure that there's probably less than 5 stunt women in the entire of Singapore?
Definitely, yeah. Anyway, or rather, professionally qualified ones.
Wow. But this is why there are so little, I would say like female action-packed shows. Is that why also?
Probably why. And it's also much harder to be a stunt woman than to be a stunt man.
Why?
The reason for that is, on screen, guys are wearing like suits, jackets and stuff, and
Yeah.
ladies are wearing like a spaghetti. So imagine you have to fall down a flight of stairs, right? I, as a stuntman, I get to put on padding underneath my suit, and I get to fall down that way. The lady just has to take it. It's terrible.
Right. So in that sense, because of the how they conceptualize the fashion of the character, they might have to have super good skills to break their
Extremely,
fall.
much more than the male stunt performers.
Wow. This brought me to a question, but I'll save that later on when I ask you about it. I actually ran a poll on my Instagram, right, to ask some of my friends whether they have any questions for stunt doubles or fight designers, and I only took a few, okay, of the really interesting or funny ones. I'm gonna ask you my favorite one first. How many times a year do you fracture or break something?
Across my about 8 to 9 years career now, I've only fractured or broken stuff on the job, I think 2 times or 3 times, not a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess with really good, proper training, the risk of injury is quite low.
Actually, it's not training. It depends on who your coordinator is. Because the safety of the set, how much preparation goes in it, how much safety goes in it, entirely hinges on who's the coordinator you're working under.
Oh.
Yeah. So Jin in the video, right? She is extremely skilled. She's one of the top few female performers in Singapore right now. She had to work on a project with a not extremely qualified coordinator, and because of that, her ankle snapped in half. Yeah. So nothing to do with her skills, it's just the coordinator.
So there wasn't enough time to prepare. That's why she
I wasn't on
snapped?
set. I was shooting in Batam at the time. From what I understand of what happened, the choreography had some inherent conceptual problems. I think he mistook a movement for another, and there was too much momentum, and he didn't take into account one cast is much heavier than her. And so when she fell, it kind of cranked her spine, and then to prevent her spine from being cranked, she tilted her body, which caused the actress to fall on her leg, and it rolled over the fractured ankle. Not fun, yeah.
But wait, wouldn't this have all been sort of like rehearsed before the...
Good point, it should be, yeah. And so, when I talk to a lot of my overseas production friends, they say that Singapore productions are a bit like a Wild West. There isn't a lot of rules here, there isn't a lot of accountability. And so having rehearsals is something of a luxury on set. It's a privilege, it's not a right now.
Whereas in other places, maybe they put a lot of importance into that.
Correct. It is necessary. You can't expect people to show up on the day itself and start punching each other.
Yeah.
Which is requested of us sometimes. But they fail to understand that a fight choreography is a choreography because there's a choreography, right?
Yeah.
Without that, it's just a fight.
Right.
So
It's like your favorite K-pop dancers on TV, right? And in their MVs, they actually take a lot of time to practice that. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
But to play devil's advocate, right? Why a lot of productions want to avoid rehearsals is, you imagine this lah. On a rehearsal, you have the actors, you have your stunt performer, you have to rent a location. All that's money. And Singapore productions are generally on a very shoestring budget. So they want to save as much as they can. So what they have you do is show up on set, you get 20 minutes with the actors, you try to work things out, and then they roll action.
Wow. Kind of scary thinking about it because there's a lot more risk involved.
It is, and it's very unfair on the Singapore actors. You know, like you get a lot of criticism saying Singapore actors can't fight, they can't perform. It's not their fault. They just were not given the chance to prepare for it.
Maybe more time. Maybe.
Definitely more time.
Edmund asked, your insurance payment must be very high because of the nature of your job.
Okay, so that's an interesting question.
I love this question, Edmund.
Yes, so always get your insurance. That's very important. The good thing about being a stunt performer in Singapore is that stunts is not a very big industry. There's probably less than 30 professional stuntmen in Singapore right now. And so we don't create a category of our own. So the insurance are not prepared. They have not prepared a specific category for us. And so when we just buy the highest possible tier, which is like the same tier that military sign-ons have, like tier 4. So that's as high as it goes lah. I'm not an insurance agent.
I don't even know what's tier 4, but...
Yeah, so like if you are an office worker, you're tier 1. And then if you work in like basketball coach, then you're tier 3, something like that. So like if you buy personal accident as a tier 1, it's 175 a year. It's really low. But if you are a tier 4, I believe it's somewhere near $400-500.
Wow. Okay. Edmund is asking if since demand is more than supply for stuntmen, the pay must be very enticing to get people into your industry. Oh, he's laughing. Must be a no then.
Okay. One of the reasons why we started our company in the first place is to try and improve the pay scheme. It's very heartbreaking that across my career I saw a lot of very, very skilled stunt performers leave the industry to go into full-time desk jobs simply because they cannot raise a family on this pay. So full disclosure, I'll just tell you the amount. The rates that an average professional mid-tier stuntman gets on a TV drama right now, it's $150 for a full day. Yeah, and this is the same rate that has been going since the early 2000s. It has not risen. How do you pronounce that word? It has not gone up, despite inflations and stuff. And so with like $150 a day, potentially pull a muscle, get a bruise, sprain, and you can't work for a week. Like imagine, like at best, you get maybe 10 jobs. You're getting paid $1,500 a month, which never happens, by the way. Our averagely skilled stunt performer gets maybe 2 or 3 days shoot a month. Yeah, so everyone has to have a side hustle. And it doesn't change even if you are like, say, falling off heights or getting hit by a car. So this is a very, very bad practice that is happening throughout the entire industry right now. I don't know what more to add on this. So yes, to answer that, the pay is bad.
Is there risk pay?
There isn't. So if I were to point out a recent project that I'm doing, even discounting the risk pay, they are complaining that I'm requesting too much money. Yeah, that I'm getting paid higher than their veteran actors. But their veteran actors isn't front flipping down 3 stories. Yeah, so it's a trait that's very unappreciated right now, mainly because there's not enough understanding of what happens. When we get stuff requested of us and when we perform on set, there's almost a lack of understanding of what a stunt person can or cannot do. Sometimes I feel like we are not treated as human beings. I've had a request on set before, which is the director said, you know, at the top of the flip, can you stay there for another 3 seconds before you come down?
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like if I can float in the air, I can wear spandex and save people, right? I won't be spending my time on set. Yeah, so sometimes there's a dislodge between reality of what they see in CG and what they... Because people who don't do sports have a certain dislodged kind of expectations.
Thinking on it about it on another aspect, right? It could also be that, you know, when you do something really well, it looks really easy, right? Like how you, when example, maybe like someone does a certain move, a certain gymnastic moves, and it's actually a very difficult one, but because they're so good at it, they make it look easy. So people tend to like easily forget that actually that took many, many years maybe of like practice to make it look that much easier.
That is true. Yeah,
right?
That's probably one.
Yeah. Wow. Edmund is saying, do people with I very hard to read your comment. Wait, do eligible people with big courage love to be physically challenged? Are they more eligible?
So there is a misconception that stuntmen are daredevils. It's actually not true. There's a lot of preparation that goes into, at least for proper coordinators, that goes into assessing risk. And so often when we train new people, the people that are more, okay, there's a middle line that we have to balance, right? On one hand, they're very risk adverse, like, I don't want it, I cannot. You know, then it makes it very hard to work with you. But then at the same time, you have to progress through things properly. You go from small and slowly you gain up and you gain confidence, right? So on the same note, there are people that are extremely risk, that really takes too much risk. And those people, we push them away. Because on set, you have a responsibility as a professional to keep yourself safe. And so if you're unable to maintain your own physical health, and you hurt yourself every project and you can't show up for work the next day, you are not a very good professional.
That's true. You want to make sure that you're always safer so you can have more longevity.
Correct. I think I missed the question. I was addressing the have a lot of courage part. I think it's important to have courage, but it's also important to know your body and your skills very well. But yeah, we're always scouting people that has martial arts background, that has dance background. Actually, I found more success working with dancers than martial artists.
Yeah. Oh, because there's more flexibility?
No, because in a fight, choreography, it's more choreography than a fight. And so being able to remember movements very well, being able to work well with a partner and take care of each other, being able to work on timing and pacing, it's more important. And dancers tend to be more open-minded about different kinds of movements. Oh, do you dance?
Yeah.
Oh, what genre?
Breaking.
Oh, breaking, that's cool.
Yeah.
I do locking.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to be in front bodies. But anyway, sorry, I digress. And because they're more open to different sorts of movements, they take feedback very well and they can adjust to it. Whereas martial artists, especially those that have only learned one style of martial arts, people who have learned multiple, it's okay, they can adjust. But if you are very, very faithful to one, some of them are very almost stubborn. They'll be like, oh, I have to do it this way. You cannot kick like that. That's not how a kick works. And it becomes very hard to adjust them because they've worked it into their body. And they tend to really want to hit each other instead of punching to miss.
That's really quite interesting though. Like I think for me, I'm a person that would be like, yes, please punch to miss, not punch to hit.
Yeah.
But martial artists, actually, they really do want to make sure that the punch hits.
Yeah, it's very hard to pull them back sometimes.
Wow, that's quite interesting to know. Okay, so actually, right, let me answer one more question before we show you guys this other video, okay? Because I think the next video, right, is really a highlight. It's something that I've wanted to show you guys clearly how we cheat fighting scenes in TV and film. So that's a really exciting one to know, but I'll just answer one more question for now. What is the casualty or injury rate in your industry?
Huh. Interesting question. We don't actually have stats about this, so I can only tell you from my own experience. I would say I see, okay, bruises are very common, like little scratches is not a problem. A fracture, maybe one in every close to 100 jobs maybe. Yeah, it's quite rare to get fractures. And then we have 0 deaths as far as I know locally. Which is a miracle considering how some of the local coordinators work. And then, yeah, so we have no deaths, we have some very rare fractures. Yeah, I think that's the question.
So it feels quite positive lah, basically. Yeah. As long as you make sure that you work, you sort of like plan what you need with the coordinator, the project will still be quite safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to work with people you trust.
That's very true. No matter where you are and which industry you work in.
But often the actors don't have a choice. They show up on set and say, oh, this guy is a coordinator. Oh no.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, right, actually.
And then as a professional, as an actor, you don't go like, oh, sorry, I cannot work with you. You know?
Yeah.
You cannot do that. And so like actors kind of are at the mercy of the productions a lot. Yeah, so it's terrible.
Okay, let's hope that there will be more improvements next time, and that's exactly why he has his own company to help really streamline the whole, and hopefully streamline the industry, right, in terms of practices and measures. Okay, but for now, I wanted to show you guys this video that, were you the one who made it? The one with the reaction?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, so we're gonna show you guys a video of what a fight scene looks like, and then we'll show you what it actually looks like, okay? So we'll show you the first one first. Check it out. You must look really closely, okay? Look super intently. See if you can catch the angles where they're actually not hitting. Okay, take a close look, okay? Oh, was that too fast? Did you guys catch that? It looks real. It really looks real. But actually, it's not, right?
Yeah, none of those hits make contact.
None of those hits make contact. So that's why you see the camera is very deceiving. Okay, we'll show you guys the next one. The next one actually, like, they can see that the distance is much further, right? Okay, we're gonna be playing the videos quite quickly, okay? So you see, it's actually, you guys are quite far away. And perhaps even make sure that he had like all those little notes on the video where you must make sure you are really safe from a distance. Even if you make a full extension, you can't hit the other person. Let's see the next one. So basically, he even has like all these little videos, right, to teach you how to fake hit, like hit to punch to miss. So that's how it looks like from the side. But from the front, it looks real, right? That's the most incredible thing. We have been deceived all along, guys. Oh, is there one more? Is that one more? No, that's the 4 one. That's the 4 videos. That's right. So this is just one way. This is the hit reaction for like a punch to the head, right?
Yep.
And then we have another one where you kind of like hit the waist, I think. So let's see. Let's check that out. Okay. I love the questions that you guys are asking. Okay, let's see it. Wow, that whole reaction was incredible. Hey, wait, this one is...
That was the face one. But you see, there's a difference between the size of reactions as well. If your opponent like taps you lightly and you go, ugh, and you fall, that doesn't look right.
Right.
But if they kick you very hard and your reaction is small, that doesn't make sense. So you gotta really match.
There has to be a balance. You have to match the other person.
Yeah, you have to match the energy.
Ah, okay. Okay, let's see the next one. This one is, I thought this one was quite interesting. Because this is what I see in TV a lot. The ones to the stomach, the legs. You know what I mean? Like, if we were not here deciphering and trying to understand this video, it looks super real. Okay, let's check out the next one. So that one, I think you guys can see as well. You see, actually it's so far away. I love how you did all the little notes of explanation as well. Okay, let's see the next one. After you establish safety distance. Oh. Wow, the timing is impeccable, really, guys. Look at that. That's how they made it work. There was no physical contact at all. Okay, last one. I think the last one is up next. Ooh! That was one reason why I picked this video as well.
Yeah, there's actually a motivation why we did this series was that there's a lack of education locally. I think, okay, you guys might have seen a series called Stuntman Reacts on like a YouTube channel. So they've been doing really awesome at educating the masses. Before they came along, no one really knew how film contact worked unless they've had prior experience. And so sometimes I've gotten feedback from actors who are on set without any coordinators, and the directors ask them to slap each other for real. Yeah, and there's a few number of things that can go wrong when you slap someone for real. You might burst a vessel in their eye, you might blow out their eardrum. And you know, when you shoot on set, it's never just pa, cut, yay, pa gong, go home, right? No, you get slapped like 3 times from this angle, and then NG, another 4 times from there. Next thing you know, your whole face is red. So it's not that actors can't take it, it's just that it's not sustainable. The next shot, their face is swollen, you know.
No conti.
Yeah, no conti. So we did this series to try and like push out the correct method to do things. There's still a lot of directors who feel like, oh, it has to be real and genuine. And I think it depends on the genre of your film, you can do that. But it must be volunteered by the actors. They must say, I want to take this for real because it helps my process and my performance. It cannot be like, yeah, she's going to slap you for real, you just have to deal with it. Yeah. So to know how to do it properly, And then to choose to break the rules sometimes when there's a good reason for it. It's the important key detail between a good director and a director who pretends to be good.
Dave is also saying that the videos really look like you guys are really fighting. Really, really, really. I think I've said this at least like 6 times in the same sentence. You have to be good actors in front of the cameras. I agree. And then it's asking, what is the retirement age for stuntmen and how many such companies like yours are there in Singapore?
Okay, interesting. Stunt companies in Singapore. So I'll answer the first answer, which might help to answer the second question. There's a company called Action Horizons. They are a Hollywood stunt team. They run the Waterworld show in USS. I don't know if you've seen it. They're like at the back of the park, and then it's made after the Waterworld movie, and there's a whole like pyrotechnic, people falling into water. Some of you might have seen it lah. So back then when I first entered the industry, I trained with them on like a monthly basis. And there was one of the head trainers, his name was Trevor. He's left the company since, but he was like in his mid to late 40s. Which inspired me because it made me realize that if you do it safely, you can do it well into your 40s. Yeah, so that answers that question. So the retirement age, I know of stunt performers who are at about 50. But of course, the things that you can do changes. A lot of them step behind to do coordination, to do design, instead of being the performer. However, because of body type, we often still need like 50-year-old people to roll down the stairs. If that happens. But of course, we do it safely. And then another company that's good to look out for is Ronin Action Group, spearheaded by Sunny Pang. Some of you guys might be familiar. They are one of the largest and also, I would say, one of the only groups out there locally that are trying to push for a better practice in the industry, trying to push for better rates for the stunt people, and actively educating and training new generations.
But these companies are local?
So Ronin is local, and then Action Horizons they have a team based in Singapore, but they are from the US.
Oh, but they're based here, so they do a lot of local stuff.
They do mostly the Waterworld show, and occasionally they coordinate certain high concept dramas like Serangoon Road from HBO. Yeah. So the thing about Action Horizons, they are slightly higher price point, so most local TVs can't afford them at all.
Right. Okay, well that's really interesting to know. A lot of them are saying that it's very realistic based on the videos that they have seen. So another thing that we wanted to do, right, to show you guys was also that it really is about deception, how we cheat the angle to make it look like we are actually fighting. So Peps actually suggested that we can actually do it right here. I'm very excited. It's going to be my first time pretending to be punched. Are we doing a punch?
Yeah, let's start with the punch to a face. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try it right now. And don't worry guys, we're still maintaining safe distancing measures because they are punching to hit, so we have to be at a distance.
Okay, let's begin. Just a preface, your hair might get messed up.
Oh, it's okay. It was already messy.
Okay, so how you take the reaction first is you push your head all the way to the end of the neck and you snap it back. Right, so you just go point and back. Okay, let's just start with that. Correct, okay, so let's just start with that gentle one. So what we need to do is usually we have a safety distance of 1 feet, so about here. But because of safety measures, I'm going to be a bit further. So I'm going to move closer to the camera now. So what you need to know is there's a technique called line cutting. So from the camera, which is you, hi, right, you draw a line to her nose, right? So I'm going to try and go in between that line. So this is called line cutting. As long as I cut the line, I can register the strike. So there's actually this much safety distance between me and her right now. This much. Okay?
Wow, actually it's quite far away.
Yeah. So my hand's gonna be here. So when I go past the front, yes, you react and you snap it back.
So guys, take a look, okay? Rate us from 1 to 10.
Okay, ready? Yeah? 3,
How
2,
realistic
1,
is it?
snap.
I think I need to come back faster.
Yes.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, snap. Yeah. So I tapped my chest because that's a theater technique to create a sound for the hit.
Oh, it's like, you know, they do like the fake slap.
Yes. Like they kick and then they slap their thigh, or they punch and they slap their chest.
Ah,
yeah. Sorry if I
okay.
blew out your mics, guys. Sorry. Yeah. So you try it. You cut the line from the camera to me. So you just find the center somewhere here.
Here.
Yeah, so just go across. Right.
Well, I think I have parallax error. I don't know how you even found the line. Okay.
So you just try straightening your hand, and then I'll go. But you have to go past a bit. You know, punch through my face. Yes.
Then do I need to come back?
Yes.
So I'll do like,
boom,
like this.
and back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let me slap my thigh a bit harder.
Okay.
Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa, that's some really good acting right there. Whoa, okay, but you know what? I don't think you saw because you were like flicking away, right? So your timing was really great, but I was off beat with my thigh slap. So it went like a second late, like literally a second, not even half a second. Let's do that again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hope for the best, guys. 1, 2. How was it?
get it right?
Did we do better? I don't know eh. I feel like there's a lag somewhere, somehow. I need to look at this video again. It's quite funny. Oh my gosh, so that was quite fun. So that's like a normal punch. How you guys usually do that on camera? So you would like face, you would do this, is it? Instead of like, because now I'm doing this. That's not a punch.
Usually the actions are shot in a short reverse shot, so you're usually on the OS, like over my shoulder. So when I punch, I'll punch this way, across the front.
Oh, and then I'll be like here.
Yes, correct. That's the easiest way to shoot it. Because if you shoot on a 2-shot and I punch, it's like, oh, I'm punching air. So in this case, if we're in a 2-shot, I actually have to move across screen. I have to go like, boom, across the screen. Yeah, and go past.
Right. That's quite cool. Okay, let me do it again. I will do a jerk because you did like a whole thing, right?
Yeah, to snap. But warm up your neck a bit. You don't want to like pull it. Yeah, because you do get sore neck after a day of stunt performing.
Right, because you have to do this so many times.
Yes.
So where do you jerk from? Because like imagine you get punched and there's like a reverb thing, right?
Right.
So how did you do that reverb? I can't tell where
What
it came
helps
from.
is you imagine a straw coming from the nose, in front of your nose, and when the performer punches it, right, it moves your straw, and you move with the straw. And you snap to as far at the end as possible, and your body gets dragged along by the momentum, and then your face snaps back. And it's important to snap back. I'll show you why. If you do a punch again, one more time, and I don't come back.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1, bah! Right, on screen it registered as my neck just snapped, and I'm dead now. Okay, so you have to bounce it back to show them that your neck is fine.
Okay. I got it. I think.
Okay, yeah, finding the line. Ready, and 3, 2, 1. That was pretty good. Yeah.
I actually spun one round and I almost lost my balance. And I already felt the risk already. I need risk pay for this show. Was that what you wanted to show us on screen?
Yeah, so that's for the face punch. Would you want to try the stomach one?
Okay, let's do it. That's probably like, you know, dancers, they tend to like bounce, right?
Yes, exactly, it bounce. But except
So
this one, you want to imagine more of a twerk, actually. You imagine someone pulling the back of your belt and pulling you backwards.
Oh, like...
Yes, correct. Yeah, so that's the first step. This is the general movement. Try again. Yes, correct. And then now you want to think about recoiling from the pain. This is the performance aspect of it. The first layer. So you want to imagine I have an iron and I touch your stomach. What's your reaction? You pull away from it. Because it's hot, right? You pull away from it. Right? So when it touches, you go boom, ooh. Right? You gotta do that first. Yeah. So 3, 2, 1, boom. Yes, that's the feeling. And then the second aspect comes along, where the difference between getting punched in the face and getting punched in the stomach. Have you been punched in the stomach before?
Never been beaten up.
Okay. Yep. So you realize that it's a deeper kind of pain. You get hit by the impact, and then the pain kind of slowly set in. Just like guys getting kicked in the groin.
Right.
The pain comes in after, where your universe is being engulfed back into your intestines.
Maybe only the guys will know this pain.
So you get hit, bomb, you pull away, that's the second step. And then you stop and you feel the pain set in. So that's the performance.
So, ooh, ah.
Yes, correct. So now you position yourself this way.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is when you throw out your punch like that, you want to cover the front of my stomach. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll be here. This way. Yep, correct.
So I have to go here.
Boom, and I'll react. Okay, so let's try it in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so you get hit first and then the pain sets in after. Yeah.
Wow, I have to say, you know what guys, this isn't just fighting, this is multitasking.
It is very much multitasking.
Because he kind of slapped his thigh, right? At like the exact moment when he had to make the whole reaction and the pop in the...
Yeah, and to make things worse, right, sometimes on set the camera's moving. So you gotta have a third eye trying to detect, okay, the camera's here now, I'm gonna punch this way. And then like the camera moves here and you react and you're getting punched here, but you gotta turn this way because you gotta favor the camera.
Oh my gosh, this is so tough. Guys, if you're actually watching this with someone, right, you have to try it. Because I couldn't kind of like react with the hit and slap my thigh at the exact same moment. multitasking is really hard for this one.
Yeah, and timing. That's why dancers are good at this.
Right. Okay. Wow, that was quite fun.
I didn't punch you. Do you want to try getting punched?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Do you
I'm
guys
gonna
want to
measure.
try?
So first thing, always measure your safety distance. Is this much for
Okay.
now? Right. So here, I'm gonna cover this part. Right. So I'm gonna, boom,
Ooh.
this.
Cringing at my own expressions. Okay, okay.
No, we try one sharp.
Yes.
We are measuring. Okay. 3, 2, 1, boom. That's pretty good.
How to lose character.
That's pretty good.
Because I can see my expression here and I'm just laughing. Okay, that was quite fun. How did you guys feel? Do you think you'll be able to be a good stunt actor? Okay, there is another question from Dave. Do you have any plans to expand or export your expertise overseas?
So I've worked with a number of stunt team overseas. One of the first one was ACT from Taipei. And then more recently, stunt team Perjuang, I think that's how I pronounce it, in Batam, Indonesia. So I guess the point I'm trying to go to is that the overseas stunt team are extremely well equipped and they are, I would say, decades ahead of where we are in Singapore. And so to answer that question, I don't think they require our services. In fact, what I'm trying to do is to take the better practices that are overseas that I've learned to bring it back to Singapore. Because we are kind of stuck in like a dark ages of stunts where they are under the illusion that Hong Kong still does things in an extremely risky and dangerous way. So they will cite that as an example. That's how Hong Kong does it. That's how Taiwan does it. But they fail to understand that right now Hong Kong and Thailand, they don't even do it like that anymore. They're way more safe. They have insurance. They take care of their people.
They have insurance, that's the keyword.
Yeah, and their practices are much better thought out. And so what I'm trying to do is the reverse. I'm trying to take their practices and introduce it into Singapore. And hopefully in 5-10 years' time, we can match up to the Southeast Asian level before we can even consider moving out. Yeah, so now it's a game of catch up.
Actually, 很伟大 actually, if you think about it, because you have two options, right? You either go out of the country to join where the standard is higher, or you can learn and just bring it back to build the country up.
Yeah, that was the
country
choice.
standards.
So when I was working there, they did offer me a job. I mean, it's not all because I'm a wonderful person. It's because if I start there, I'll start at the bottom again. I'll be a stuntman working my way up, which is not too bad. The working standards and the pay are way better. When I come back here, I get to kind of try and make things better on my level, on my terms.
Right.
To try and create better practices. And also, if I leave, what happens to the younger generation of performers here? Right? So it's kind of a situation where, like you said, I can choose to leave or I can try and make things better here. And I mean, I imagine as most things in life when we make decisions, we think about when you're on your deathbed with your children around you. And
What have I done in my life?
Yeah, it's your last moment. And would you be ashamed or proud of your choices? And I think if I made the easy way out of running away, I think I wouldn't be so proud of myself.
No regrets. Okay, on to more exciting things, okay? Because when we think about all the road ahead that we have to build up the fighting and the stunt scene, there's a long way to go. So let's do something fun right now, okay? We will be playing a game. While we're playing the game, guys, if you have any questions, okay, please let us know and comment down below. I see some of you guys don't have the share tags, okay? Edmund, if you want to join us in our giveaway, please share this video out so that more people can watch, and then we will do our giveaway later on. Okay, so this is going to be a quick 1-minute fire round of questions, like speed questions. You have 15 questions to answer in 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I only started this game last week, and our guest didn't manage to complete it. So let's see if you can do it. Time to spur up some competitiveness. Okay, we will have a timer on screen as well. So you sort of know that. Okay, I think some questions will require some thinking. So just to preempt you.
Okay.
All right, are we ready, everybody? Okay, let's go. Favorite fight film?
Oh my god.
and he's down.
Legend of Sun Zhen.
Weirdest fight scene you have choreographed? Weirdest.
A struggle between a guy getting pinned by a toilet paper monster in the toilet. Yeah.
What is your dream fight scene?
Dream fight scene. Kingsman, doing something like Kingsman here in Singapore.
Best country to learn stunt doubling.
Best country to learn stunt doubling. US, UK, Taiwan.
Do you prefer fight design or stunt doubling?
I prefer fight design for sure. Rolling downstairs is not fun.
Ever got injured on set before?
Majorly only twice or thrice.
Craziest fight scene you have choreographed?
Craziest fight scene.
8 more
1v4, 3-minute long, 1-take shot.
Favorite fight or stunt move?
Favorite fight or stunt move? The C7 kick.
Public misconception about stunt doubles.
That we are risk takers. How many did we do?
You were at question 9.
Ah, so far away.
I don't know I think my questions are too hard. Do you guys think so? I think my questions require too much thinking already. Okay, but I'm really curious. You said craziest fight scene you have choreographed. I didn't even catch that. It was so fast.
Oh, it was like director wanted immersion for the audience, so he wanted a long 1-take shot. Yeah, so it's like a 3-minute long fight scene between one guy and one uncle and 4 guys, and then in the middle another young guy is introduced. Yeah. However, we didn't do it 1 take for real. We used hidden cuts throughout the entire scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
but
that's
still, it's
quite
ambitious,
interesting.
lah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's finish the rest of the questions that you didn't manage to complete.
Yeah, with no stress this time.
No stress. Yes, you can take your time. This one is easy. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Food or
Some of them
desserts?
are
Just
random.
anything.
Yeah, anything.
Oof, I love food. I love all kinds of
All
food.
kinds of
So at the moment, I'm vibing with lamb chop.
Oh, I just had one 2 days ago.
You did? Is it good? Where is it?
I
Just out.
steak at Serangoon Garden.
Serangoon Gardens.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Punches or kicks?
Punches or kicks? Punches.
Savory or sweet?
Depends on mood, eh?
Depends on mood. Ideal retirement age?
Ideal retirement age. I would love to be financially free by next year, which is never gonna happen. But to be able to choose the projects that I take and not be at the mercy of the industry.
Pet peeve?
Pet peeves. I'm not a big fan of cigarette smoke. It makes me really upset for no reason.
I agree. It's one of mine too. Top 3 dangerous stunts
That I've done or that I know of?
that you know of?
That I know of.
Yeah, these are not questions that people can answer in 1 minute. What was I thinking?
I mean, there's the famous one where Jackie Chan jumped and grabbed the thing and slid down like 5 stories down, and then with the different kind of lights that's burning through. I think that's a big one.
It could also be the ones that you have done.
Ones that
Yeah.
I've done. Earlier in my career, actually one of my first few stunt jobs, it's a movie called Bunting. And that was before I was properly trained at all. I was coaching parkour at the time, and they wanted to find someone who could do a backflip. So there's a movement in pro wrestling called the moonsault, where you stand on the top of at the side of the ring, there's like the lines, right? You stand on it, you do a backflip off, but you land on your chest on top of the other actor, to pin them. So that's called a moonsault. So at the time, there wasn't a pro wrestler in Singapore who could do that. So they went out to find a parkour guy. So that was one of my first few experiences in the industry. And the stage is made of like hardwood. And it was before I knew of the existence of safety padding. Or like
Oh my
practices.
goodness.
So I just went for it, and they only had 1 camera. So again, Singapore budget very low. So they can't do multi-camera angles, which just means that if they want multi-angles, I have to do it.
You have to do it
multiple
again and
times.
again for different
So I
takes.
believe I did 24 takes for that one.
Wow.
And one of the takes, they lowered the lights because of continuity. And continuity is what we mean when you want one scene to match the other scene. But I told them it's unsafe, that I might kick it. And can you work with it? And I said I would try. And that lesson told me that you don't say try, you can or cannot. If you think it's unsafe, don't do it. So I tried, and I kicked the bulb, it burst, and then fell, and then there was an actress below, so we have to make sure that she doesn't get range shut on.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was one extremely risky part of that project. And then another thing is the repetition. Your body kind of breaks down. In physics, right, when you backflip, all the energy and the centrifugal force at the end of the feet. So your feet whiplashing on the floor takes the most of the impact. And so this part of my shin, right, started cracking in about 20th
I got
take.
goosebumps.
But then they're like, we still need more take. Then like, back then, you're young and you
I
feel
can
the
do
need
it.
to impress. So you just bite your tongue and just do it. And yeah, so I did another 4 takes with a cracked shin.
Oh my goodness. So those are probably the 2 times when you talked about injury.
Yeah, that was one. Then
Dave does agree though. He said that the questions can be quite tough. Oh, I love this question. Which Chinese sensei do you recommend?
I actually don't visit senseis.
He's very safe, guys. He doesn't get injured.
I do enjoy an occasional massage, yes, but not with senseis.
Okay, so I think that was all really fun, right? We had like a quick glimpse of like how it's like in the industry, how people do it on set, and also how we can actually even do it on ourselves with the whole fake fighting, punch to miss and all. But I think there are some very important questions too, which is something that he said just now, which is sustainability in his career choice. And I think I wanted to ask, how do you make it sustainable for yourself?
For myself, it's possible for myself because I have multiple streams of income. I don't just do stunts, I do acting as well, and I dabble in theatre a bit. And then when times get really hard, I can perform in dance performances. Yeah. So for me, I have options, but then the challenge comes when you have young stunt people who don't have options. All they do is stunts, all they do is fight. And so things must change if we want to see better action from Singapore. Because in order to do good action, you need a base amount of people who could do it, right? And these people must be able to feed themselves over a long period of time, at least long enough that they can gradually improve their skills. Because right now what's happening is, before I came along, people will drop in, they will perform for a few months, get hurt, not get paid enough, leave. Next batch comes in. So the skill level gets stuck at novice forever, right? So you want to increase the pay scheme, you want to increase the amount of opportunities, you want to improve the safety so they can keep doing it. So these are multiple fronts of challenges we have to try and fight against, right? Another thing is also a safe and easy avenue for new blood to come into the line, which is why we have fight choreography classes and we have wireworks classes that we expressly say is open to public to try. It's not just for professionals, so that people get a chance to come in, experience it. If it's something they want, they can enter what we have, which is a mentorship program, which will teach you how to fall, how to do a bit of wire, how to choreograph, how to shoot, and how to edit. So you get a glimpse into the entire back end, and then you can gradually slip deeper into the industry if that's what you want. But as always, I would like to ask people, like, if you want to enter the stunt industry, why? Because with a strong enough why, you can survive the toughest how.
Yeah,
but
it's your drive.
Yeah, with a few hows and not a strong why, you're gonna give up really quick because as of now, it's an uphill battle. We are trying to make the pay scheme better, but it is still kind of picking up, and we're trying to make the practice better, but again, it's still kind of picking up. So if you're joining right now, it's gonna be quite a bad time for you. Yeah, so I would advise against it if I care about you. Yeah.
If. That word was if.
Yeah. But we do need dedicated, trustworthy, reliable people that are willing to put in time and effort to train and to get to a certain level. Then that way we can increase the size of our team. We can start to do bigger and better things. Yeah.
So how would you say if someone wants to try to start, what classes should they start to take first? How much time do they need to put in every single week? Because at this point in time, it's not sustainable for you to be a full-time stuntman probably, or even stuntwoman. So if they have to sort of split their time up to another main job or another side hustle, how much time do they need to put in to train to slowly,
I would say that the shortest amount of time I would take a new trainee onto set is after about 6 months of training. So I would recommend 2 months of regular fight choreography classes that we have, and after you attend 2 months of it once a week, to enter the 2-month-long mentorship program. And after you graduate from the mentorship program, to join us as an assistant for another 2 months. Visit us on set, you get to watch how we do things before you eventually get introduced to perform on TV.
But that's actually quite straightforward, and I think it's quite direct, quite fast as well actually. Because I think, let's say studying, right? Let's say you're trying to go into like a certain industry. You usually have to study for like 2 years. Sometimes if you're lucky, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that's normal. And then you slowly start with internships and then the job. But I guess with stunt doubling, it is quite straightforward in that you need to learn the skills, you're familiarized, and then you can go straight to it.
Yeah, we've managed to somehow like identify the few key skills that you need and to streamline the program such that we can get people there faster. But of course, I would say that it takes at least 2 years to become really good, or rather to become decently functional as a stunt person.
Right, because for different stunts, you require different skills, right?
Correct.
You still need to train and hone. Okay, so maybe you can share with us a bit more about your school and also your socials where people can find you. So if they're interested, they know where to go.
So my socials is at Peps Go. So PEPS, like the drink Pepsi without the I. PEPS, GOH. And then my school, the socials is Sandbox Training Ground. So Sandbox, more about Sandbox. We have fight and stunt classes and wireworks. That's our main bread and butter. But we also host a number of different movement arts in our gym as well, all helped by young entrepreneurs like myself. So we have people that teach circus arts, which involves stuff like juggling, creative tumbling, partner acrobatics, contortionists, hand balancing. And then we also have tricking classes held by the Hype Tribe. So tricking is, do you know what's tricking?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who don't, tricking is a school of, or rather a genre of acrobatics that involves martial art kicks. So they take inspirations from martial arts like spinning kicks from Taekwondo, groundwork from capoeira, and flips from gymnastics, and they merge it into a whole new kind of genre of movement called tricking. It's been growing in popularity across the world in the past 15 years, I would say, since it's conceived. And then we also have parkour classes for both, not just, so a lot of people feel that parkour is unsafe, but then the Move Academy have managed to kind of develop programs that are suitable for even young children. They also have a purely female classes for more comfort for ladies. And they also have, interestingly enough, senior classes for parkour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they have students towards the range of like 40s to 50s and even slightly above. So they focus mostly on health, on mobility, and ease of movement.
That's quite interesting.
And then we still have one more, I think. Parkour, tricking, I forgot the last. Oh yes, we have gymnastics. We have rhythmic gymnastics, which are generally for, most people perceive them to be for ladies and for young kids. But the group in our place, they have started rhythmic gymnastics for adults as well. And also for males as well. They also have boys. Yeah, so they are called, I don't know how to pronounce, it's kind of French, Gymnastic that ends with a QUE. So you can check out their handle. Oh, and for circus, they are called Circus Academy of Singapore.
That's quite interesting. So I guess within Sandbox Academy, there's a lot of different things that you can pursue if you're interested to learn. But of course, for him, he focuses on fighting, stunting, and how you can actually be a double if you want to pursue it as a career. If you guys would like to, you can actually check out his handles. He's already mentioned it. He's a very, very trained professional. He started from a very, very long time ago, I think in 2004.
2004, I was still in primary 4.
I don't know why I read it. It was 2013.
Yes,
Is it
2013.
Okay. I remember 2 numbers. At least I got the second one right. So he started a very long time ago at 2013. So he's got a lot of experience to help you guys learn at a very safe space, at a very good pacing as well. Make sure to contact him if you're interested. But if not, that's about it for the show today. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for coming to join us.
Thanks for having me.
And sharing.
Thanks for the questions, guys.
Yeah, if you guys want to talk more to Peps, let him know on IG. But if not, thank you so much. I'm Gladys, and I was your host for the show. Let me know if you have anybody with interesting, unique professions that you want to feature on the platform, and let me know. But for now, before we end off, I want to pick our giveaway winner. Right now we only have Dave because he asked questions and he has a share tag. So Dave, you know the drill, DM me and we will give you your voucher after the show. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys again next week. Bye!